I mean, for $1, this is a really good option. Why does this smell so weird? They are stabbing my eyes. Frost. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. Today we're going to be testing out some new makeup. Some of this makeup is new to the market and some of it is just new to me. So if you enjoy testing new makeup videos, definitely give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in because I'm super excited. Okay, so I have the most random mix of products. I have a new liquid blush from L.A. Colors. I have some new powder blushes from Ioni. And oh my goodness, guys, look what I found at Marshall's. I have never seen the Norvina palettes at my Marshalls before. They also had Pat McGrath, they had Too Faced, they had a lot of NARS stuff. It was stacked. Go to your nearest Marshalls ASAP and see what they have crack-a-lackin' in the makeup department, because I'm telling you, my Marshalls is usually not that good when it comes to makeup products. It doesn't have a lot of high-end stuff, but last time I went, I really literally wanted to pick up everything, but this is the one that I landed on because I'm trying to be a little bit more conservative with my makeup purchases. So I think we're gonna do the eyes first because this palette is really colorful. I just prepped my eyes with my go-to eye primer, the MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. I have to admit I'm a little bit overwhelmed because there's so many colors in this palette, but we're just gonna play. We're testing makeup, so hopefully the look turns out good, but no promises. So to start, I'm going to take this mid-tone brown shade called B5. Reminds me of a chessboard. And there is a ginormous mirror in here, which is actually really nice. And it does sit up by itself. So I just took B5 and popped that in the crease. And then I'm using C3 to deepen up that crease and mostly focusing it on the outer corner. These shades are building up really nicely. I don't think I spread my primer out far enough, so it's getting a little bit patchy, but I don't think that's the pigment's fault. I think that's just my fault for not putting my primer out far enough. But other than that, super blendable and very easy to build up. To deepen things up even further, I'm going to go in with the shade E2. This shade is really pretty. It's like a deep brown with some purple undertones to it, and it's super creamy and it's building up beautifully. Going back in with the shade C3 just to blend that out a bit. Again, I don't think I applied my primer far enough out here, so if it looks a little patchy, that's why. I don't think it's the shadow, because everywhere else on the eye, it's not doing that. Next, I'm going to take D4, which is like an orangey, well, it looks super orange now on my finger. In the pan, it looks more brown, but it's a pretty vibrant orange. I'm going to pop that on this sort of like center part of my lid. It's more of a sheen, it's not super reflective. And then for the inner portion, I'm going to take D2. That looks more sparkly. That shade's really pretty. It has little micro glitters in it. And just because I want to test out as many shades as possible, I'm going to take D5. Ooh, which actually on the finger looks a bit brighter. I thought it would be a bit darker than D2, but because it's a bit brighter, I'm going to layer that over top. Those shimmers are really pretty. I don't know if I just went in with too much, but my eyelid is starting to look a little bit textured. So that could just be user error, but they don't seem like the smoothest shimmers upon first application, but I'll test it out some more. Alright, just because I want to play a little bit, I'm going to take this fun shade E3, and I kind of want to pop this in the inner crease here. I'm going to bring it into the center part too. And then because I'm having fun, I'm going to take E4, which is a bright yellow. And I actually brought this in a bit too far, so I'm going to use that to brighten up this inner corner here. And we'll kind of layer that around the edges too. Why not? Get the whole sunset vibes going. I'm going to take the tiniest bit of C4, which looks a bit more purpley than E2. I'm just trying to test out as many shades as possible. Yeah, this one has a bit more purple to it than the first deepening shade we used. Okay, so I'm back. As you can see, I did change the eye look. I just felt like I was getting a little bit overwhelmed with all the warm tones in this palette, and I just didn't like how the blend was going. I felt like it was just getting a little bit too big, and honestly, I could not resist using these greens and blues. They are what called out to me when I first opened this palette. So for this look, I dipped into A1 first, and I popped that into the crease. I deepened things up with E1, which is a slightly deeper, more neutral green. And then all over the lid, I went in with B1, which I love this blue, so pretty. And then C1 in the inner corner. This is one of my favorite shades that I've used so far because it's so sparkly. And it's a gold, but it doesn't pull super yellow on the eyes. It kind of takes on whatever shimmer or pigment it has underneath of it. And then in the outer corner, again, I used a little bit of D2 and also B2, which this one is a really interesting color. It has more of a, it's like a deep teal. It has a lot of blue in it. So I thought that these two might look pretty similar on the eye, but I actually find they're quite different. So I'm really happy with how the eye look turned out, and I think overall the quality of this is really good. Pigmented, blendable, fun color story. If you find it at Marshall's for, I think this is $20, definitely worth $20. I don't know if I would buy it full price because I'm cheap, and also I don't wear these colors on the daily, so I don't know if it would be worth the money for me personally. But if you like this color story, you see it at Marshall's, it's 20 bucks, pick it up because I think it's really fun and I do really enjoy it so far. One other minor thing, I do wish there was a matte black in here or a deep navy or a deeper green, just because the only real deepening shades are these two purpley browns. So I had to end up going in with that on my outer quarter, and it just wasn't exactly what I was looking for because greens and purples can get a little bit muddy since they're more complementary colors. So it looks a little bit murky on the outer corner, but other than that, I do love the color story. I just wish it had maybe a deeper blue, a deeper green, or a black, just so you don't have to dip into those purpley colors. I don't have a new primer to test, but I do have a powder foundation, so I want to make sure my skin is nice and moisturized. So I'm going to go with my Coconut Smoothie Priming Moisturizer from First Aid Beauty. Since we have a powder foundation, I am going to do my concealer first. And I actually do have a new concealer. It's not new to the market per se. I think it launched last year if I'm not mistaken, but it's new to me. It is the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Light Concealer. The Too Faced Born This Way Original Concealer is one of my favorites, super full coverage, but doesn't look drying on my dry skin. So I was excited to test this out because I've heard a lot of good things about it. This shade is obviously much too light for me, but you know, we're just gonna make it work. We're gonna go for that super brighten under eye today. I guess I'll highlight down the center of the face while we're here. I don't have a sponge down here, so I'm just going to try using a brush, which is the normal way that I would apply a concealer anyway. And then if it's streaky, we can go in with a finger. Oh, it's actually drying a little bit faster than I was expecting. Thought it would be more emollient. For some reason, I was expecting it to be like the Kosas Revealer Concealer or the new Butter Concealer from Physicians Formula, something a little bit thicker, a little bit more creamy, more emollient, more dewy and hydrating. This one is super thin and lightweight, and it does dry a bit quicker than I was expecting. It doesn't feel as like creamy and emollient as the Revealer or the Butter Concealer that I mentioned. It's always hard to tell with a concealer that is the wrong shade for you. I feel like they just tend to look way unflattering if they're too bright. This one, it doesn't look bad. It just, again, it's not as moisturizing as I thought it was going to be. It is sort of emphasizing texture or dryness under my eyes, on my skin. So it's not super, super hydrating. If you have extremely dry skin, I don't know if this is going to work for you. Like, I don't know if you can see. See how it's kind of clinging to texture I have right here? Right here. My eyeshadow looks good though. I really like that palette. First impressions, I'm not in love with it. I feel like it's emphasizing my texture a little bit and it doesn't have as much coverage as maybe I would prefer. This has more of a light coverage. It's very thin, it dries down, and it's not super creamy or emollient. It actually reminds me a little bit of the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in its thin consistency, and it actually, like I said, sets down completely. So if you have super dry skin, I wouldn't recommend setting this. I like how thin and lightweight it feels, but again, it is sort of emphasizing any texture or dryness I have on my skin, so that's not my favorite. It does seem to have a little bit of a light reflecting property. So maybe if you have more normal to oily skin and you want a light coverage everyday concealer that's going to make your skin look dewy and fresh but isn't going to be too greasy or hydrating on the skin because you already have those natural oils, you might really like this. I have to keep testing it out. Right off the bat, I don't think I love it. I'm going to quickly set that concealer with powder. Even though I don't feel like I need to set it, I do want to make sure I don't have any sticky parts on my face because I'm going to be going in with that powder foundation. So I'm going to set it with my Moira Set and Correct Finishing Powder, one of my favorites. Before foundation, I do have a cream blush, so I don't really know how that's going to work, but I feel like we can apply it and then try to just apply the foundation around it. How do you do this? Let me know in the comments down below. If you love wearing powder foundations, how do you usually apply your cream products? I know some cream products can work over powders, but I don't know if this formula will, so I'm just gonna err on the safe side. But yeah, I would love to know. So this is the cream gel blush from LA Colors. I picked this up because first of all, I've never seen a cream blush at the dollar store. And second of all, this pink looks so pretty. So it comes in this little squeezy tube. Looks gorgeous. So I'm just gonna pick some up on a brush and then maybe we'll try a finger on the other side. Ooh, pretty pigmented. I think I got way too much. I'm gonna wipe some of that off. Ooh, very pretty color though. Seems to be drying down. Oh, that's really pretty. It gives a lot of color. It does set down all the way, so I like that because I don't like really sticky or tacky cream blushes. It does set pretty fast, so work quickly and don't go in with as much as I did because I kind of went overboard. The product on the back of my hand is already dried, so it's very, very quick to dry. So just do one cheek at a time if you do want to test this out. I'm going to take a little bit more. And I'm just going to press that in with my fingertip. I mean, for $1, this is a really good option. I feel like it has more of a natural to matte finish. It might look a little glowy because I have that coconut smoothing primer, but it feels very, very almost tight on the skin, like it's gonna be really long lasting. So far, I really like this. All right, for our foundation, let's go in with this 16-hour Cover and Last Powder Foundation from Essence. I have mine in the shade Classic Vanilla. I don't even think I really need to set this blush because it feels so dry, not in a bad way. I'm going to take this slightly denser but still fluffy brush from the Morphe x Ariel collection, the A24. Start patting that into the skin. I don't know if it's showing up. I'm going to try a sponge because I don't feel like I'm really getting any coverage. There we go. Kind of smells funny. I'll do half the face so we can see like a before and after. I feel like that's so satisfying. Why does this smell so weird? It's really throwing me off. Definitely mattifying the skin, but I mean, it's a powder, so I pretty much expected that. So with the powder foundation and then without. All right, I'm gonna try a denser brush. This is actually a foundation brush from Morphe x Jaclyn Hill. This is the JH03, and I'm gonna see if this one will do a better job. Yeah, I just feel like I'm not really getting any coverage. If you wanted to set your face, I think you could go in with a brush. If you just want like a light dusting, but if you want coverage, you're gonna need to go with a sponge or a puff. So I just applied these lashes from Ioni. They looked so promising, and they are in the style Italy, which of course I had to pick up because I'm Italian, but holy moly, they are stabbing my eyes. The band is thick and uncomfortable, and the style is just a little bit too glam for my taste. I'm gonna go try to find some more subdued lashes, and then we will proceed. Okay, much better. Those other lashes were way too intense for me, but if you like super dramatic lashes, you might enjoy those. They are very affordable and they have a lot of different styles. So maybe I'll try a different style. I just didn't like how thick the band was either. So I might try like chopping them up a little bit and using them as maybe just an outer corner lash. Let's go ahead and do the lip. I'm gonna take, this is an old lip liner from Essence. This is their Soft and Precise lip liner in the shade My Choice. This shade is actually pretty much dupe for Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, if you like that shade. We got a couple options for the lips. I have this lipstick from LA Colors in the shade Natural Shine. And then I also have this Dew Glow from J.cat. This is their lip hydrator. It says it nourishes the lips with hydration while also depositing a sheer wash of color to give a gorgeous dewy lip. Non-sticky moisturizing lip balm. And this one is in the shade Dew Hydrate. So let's try the lipstick first. Looks like a nice warmish nude. Pretty. Feels very hydrating on the lips as well. I don't know if it pairs the best with this lip liner, but I do like this. Let's wipe that off and try the J.cat. So it's just a little twist up, and let's see what the color looks like. Oh, it looks way more glossy than the lipstick, which is to be expected because it's a balm, and this one is a nice baby pink. Oh, I like that. I think it goes well with the cheeks. It's not ultra glossy, but it feels good, sort of like a normal chapstick sort of thing. But I like the color. I really like this so far. Very pretty. And I think it's just like one of those products that you could throw in your bag and like reapply throughout the day, and it's just gonna add a nice little wash of color, but nothing too intense, and it feels really moisturizing on the lips. So I really like this so far. Also, by the way, the Essence 16-Hour Cover and Last Powder Foundation claims to be high coverage with a matte finish, up to 16-hour wear. I won't be able to test that today. Breathable and lightweight texture for a fresh feeling. Transfer proof, waterproof, formulated without silicones, parabens, mineral oil, and microplastic particles. Oh, does it have a sponge in here? Oh gosh, it does have a sponge. I should have used this to apply. What a derp. I'll do that next time. I'm also not going to be able to do a wear test today, and I don't really agree with the claim that it has high coverage. I think it has more medium coverage, but it does have a matte finish like it claims, and it is pretty lightweight and breathable feeling. So I'll have to keep you updated on the 16-hour wear and the waterproof. So far, I think it looks nice medium coverage matte powder foundation. Nothing to write home about, but I like it so far. So I do have 2 more blushes to test. Blushes are all the rage right now. So I picked up 2 powder blushes from Ioni. Packaging on these is so cute. It has a little magnetic closure, and it is cardboard, but I mean, it's $1.25. So we have this more peachy nude option, and then this bright pink, which I think we're going to be using today, but I'll go ahead and swatch them both for you. They feel really creamy. Ooh, pretty pigmented. It feels really creamy. Wow, it's so pigmented. You see this? This almost looks like it could be a bronzer. So let's try the hot pink shade. Oh, it says it's in the shade Glam Peach. It's not super peachy in my opinion. It looks more of like a hot pink, but we'll see how it appears on the cheeks. Pretty pigmented. I'm gonna take a clean brush just to blend around the edges. I like this. I think it'll work for a wide variety of skin tones as well because it is pretty pigmented. So just use a light hand, but if you have more of a deep complexion, I think this might work for you. I was trying to figure out why I look so weird, and I completely forgot that I didn't apply bronzer. I swear I get so mixed up when I don't do my makeup in the usual order because I did the powder foundation and concealer first, and you know, it's a whole thing. I'm gonna take this primer infused bronzer from e.l.f. in Forever Sun Kiss. I don't have a new bronzer to test. Alright, let's go ahead and finish up the lower lash line. Let's go back in with A1. And then really close to the lash line on the outer corner, I'm going to take E1. I might bring that all the way across. I'm bringing that all the way across, but I'm not dragging it as far down as the first shade. For highlight, I'm just going to take one of the newer highlights to my collection. This is the You Glow Girl Baked Highlighter from J.cat in the shade Seaside Frost. Frost. I don't know why I said that so weird. Okay. Just want a little bit of this because it's very pigmented. Like very intense, I should say. Ooh. Like, see how you can still see this little scratch I had peeking through. The powder foundation is definitely not full coverage like it claims. Definitely more of a light to medium coverage. And I can still smell that foundation. It is strong, very strong. I'm going to take a little bit of this in my inner corner as well. Ooh, that is a pretty inner corner highlight. I'm just taking my Benefit Roller Lash. I'm just gonna focus it on the outer corner. Okay guys, so here is the finished look. I think in the end, everything came together, and I do have some things that initially really stood out to me. This ABH Norvina palette, I love right off the bat. If you can find this at your Marshalls, scoop it up because it is definitely worth $20 and then some. I think the color story is really fun. They're really pigmented, really blendable. So happy that I found that. I also really love this liquid blush from LA Colors. This is super pigmented. I think it's going to work for a lot of different people. I love the bubblegum pink. It looks very vibrant on the cheeks and it does blend out nicely. I think you need to work quickly because it dries down super fast, but other than that, I'm really excited to keep playing with it, and I'm really excited that I found this. I mean, $1.25, you really can't beat it for a liquid blush. In regards to the powder blushes from Ioni, I think these are really, really nice as well. Again, very, very pigmented, so just going with a light hand, I think it's going to work for a wide variety of skin tones, which makes me super happy, and I love the packaging. It's so cute. So love all the blushes that I tried. I also really like this Dew Glow from J.cat. I think it's just a really nice tinted lip balm or tinted chapstick, something super easy you could throw into your bag. It feels really nourishing, very, very hydrating on the lips, so definitely love this, and I do like the color Dew Hydrate. The concealer, I don't know. I think the shade is a little bit too light, so it's throwing me off. It's not as hydrating and emollient or creamy as I was expecting. It has a very thin consistency, but it's not creasing on the under eyes, which is very rare. Most concealers will crease. Almost all concealers crease, and this one has not settled into the lines. It's not creasing. It doesn't look the most smoothing on my texture. It is clinging to some of those dry patches like I said earlier, so I'm gonna have to keep testing this out. I think it has potential, but right off the bat it's not like an immediate holy grail favorite. The LA Colors lipstick was nice if you're in a pinch and you really need a lipstick. You know, Dollar Tree, not gonna do you wrong. The only thing today that I tried that I'm like, I don't know. Oh, well, the lashes, but we don't have to go down that road because we all know how that went. They are stabbing my eyes. It's fine. We're moving on. The other thing that I'm not super crazy about is the powder foundation. First of all, the smell is just... I cannot with this. It smells so familiar, but I cannot put my finger on what it is. But it is strong and it is lingering. So I don't know if I would totally recommend this or use this as a powder foundation. I also feel like it's a little bit too matte for my liking, just for my preferences, but I think if you really like powder foundations, you might enjoy this, and if you can get past the smell, you might enjoy this. The only thing I will say is it's not full coverage like it claims to be. It's more of a medium coverage. I'm gonna keep testing this. I think personally the way that I'm gonna find the most use out of it is maybe as a setting powder or just as like a touch-up powder that I can throw in my bag. I don't think I would necessarily use this as like an all-over powder foundation, but I don't really like a lot of powders in that way. So not bad, pretty good for the price. It's just the smell is killing me, and I don't think it's full coverage like it says, but I'll have to keep you updated on the 16-hour wear and the waterproof claim. But yeah, is that everything? I think that's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it was a little bit of a hot mess, but I appreciate you so much for sticking around and hanging out with me. Please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye.